The first scene shows a woman, named Alina, driving her pregnant daughter to the hospital. It is a stormy night, but her daughter, Natalia, is in labor. They reach the hospital and Natalia is rushed towards the labor room. In the labor room, something extraordinary happens as the child is born. They are startled to witness the child floating in the air, defying the law of gravity. They were all stunned. At home, Natalia's mother questions her about the baby's father. But it turns out that Natalia has no idea about it, because she was a prostitute. Her mother tells her that the baby is a sign from God to punish Natalia. But Natalia says that she has made an angel, and decides to name him Oscar. Alina is worried about the safety of her flying grandson. Therefore, to keep the child safe from the world outside, she declares that they'll never let Oscar step out of the house. But as Oscar grows older, he begins to get weary of staying indoors. His daily routine includes peeping through the blinds and watching Batman on TV. He desires to be free like Batman. His mother makes him a jacket with weights on its pockets, to prevent him from flying. She wants Oscar to go to school live like a normal kid. But his grandmother would hear nothing of it. She discourages Natalia and homeschool Oscar instead. Eventually, Natalia gets irritated by Alina's protective behavior, and one night, she decides to take Oscar outside. She forbids him to talk to anybody. And just like Batman, he must keep his secret of being a superhero. On a visit to the store one day, Natalia tells Oscar to wait outside. Waiting outside restlessly, he bumps into a feisty little girl, named Agatha, and drops her groceries. Agatha is mad at him and makes him carry her water bottles to her home. As he follows her, he grows tired. He had no choice but to drop the weights keeping him on his feet. The weight of the water bottles keeps him on the ground. But as they reach Agatha's home, she asks him for the bottles. Knowing that he will start floating in the air without them, Oscar refuses to do so. The two tug the bottles and eventually drop them. With nothing heavy keeping him on his feet, he begins to levitate. As he hangs on the roof, Agatha watches him amazingly, assuming he is a superhero. She helps him to get back on his feet by giving him a pink backpack. Agatha promises him to keep it a secret. With a promise from her, Oscar leaves for home. At home, he tells a worried Natalia about his new friend, Agatha, and assures her by lying that Agatha knows nothing about his powers. Natalia has no choice but to allow his friendship with Agatha. Oscar continues to enjoy his friendship with her. But things go sour with a visit from Agatha's grandmother. She tells Natalia that Agatha told her about Oscar being a superhero. Maddened, Natalia stops Agatha from seeing Oscar. Another slip from Agatha to her grandmother invites the policeman to Oscar's house. They warn his family that he must be sent to a school. This makes them leave the town as Oscar couldn't fit in with the normal kids. All grown up now, Oscar lives alone with his mother in the mountains. And he still wears the pink backpack from Agatha. This earns him the nickname Backpack. Oscar feels so helpless and restless being idle, but he has no choice. He must keep his flying ability a secret. He wanted to publish his own book about his flying ability. And one day he comes across an advertisement on the TV about a talent show. The show urges everyone with a unique talent to participate in it. This is exactly what he has been waiting for. Without his mom's consent, he leaves for the show. His mom is shocked as she watches him flying on the television. After his performance, he catches the eye of a talent scout named David. David proposes a show business idea to Oscar and promises to make him a celebrity. Oscar agrees to his proposal and they come up with his stage name, The Man Without Gravity. Then David makes Oscar to sign a contract to finalize the deal. With the show breaking the TRP records, Oscar becomes famous in no time. But his relationship with his mother gets strained by his popularity. One day, Oscar tells David he is tired of doing the show. To stop Oscar from terminating the contract, David deviates his attention towards his book publication. David introduces him to Lucas and Piero in a club. Oscar gets excited as David tells him they are publishers. But he is soon pissed when he hears they have other plans for his book. This makes him leave the club. Bound by the long-term contract to keep flying for shows, Oscar gets depressed. Oscar decides to terminate the contract and asks David to fake his death so he can live a peaceful life. He moves to another town and changes his identity as Desky. He changes his appearance, and pretends to be handicapped, and moves around in a wheelchair to hide his ability. Desky now works as a receptionist in a hotel, famous for prostitutes. On the Christmas Eve, while wearing his pink backpack, A lady recognizes him and calls him by his real name Oscar. She introduces herself as Agatha, and Oscar gets so excited to see her again. They get along, and romance blossoms. But Agatha is no more the same little girl he used to know. Agatha is now known as Mimi, and she hooks up with men for money. She tells him there is no chance for a whore and a cripple. Rejected, Oscar returns back to his own town. He goes back to his old house and stays there for a while and suddenly hears a knock on the door. When he opens the door, he sees Agatha dressed as her younger self with the pink backpack. They reconcile and lived happily ever after. The movie comes to an end as we see Oscar working as a window cleaner with the Batman suit on. He was living his childhood dream. If you enjoyed this recap, kindly like and subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon. Do let us know what you think about the movie in the comments section below. Enjoy other movie explanations on our channel. Thanks for watching.